Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, ANITA FINLEY.
I'm here with a very special friend from Faith Farm Ministries. We've been working with Faith Farm for so long, and it's so inspiring. That's what I have to tell everybody, that this is not just a thrift shop. This is a place where people get healed. It's a place that makes people understand that life is hard, and there aren't many places like Faith Farm anywhere in the country. So what we want to do is support them in every possible way we can. And Carol Mahoney is one of those people who will tell us all about how we can support them. Welcome to our show, Carol.
Oh, it is so great to be back, Anita. Thank you so much.
Well, we love that because, it is a mystery. You know that. People don't really know what goes on there at Faith Farm.
It's true. However, that's improved a lot thanks to people like you getting the word out. And I myself did not know until maybe 10 or 15 years ago, after patronizing Faith Farm my entire children's childhood. So it's good to get the word out, but it is starting to get out more. And we are not only a thrift store that takes your donations, but we're also a drug and alcohol recovery program, which is funded through the revenues that we take in from not only our thrift store sales of your donations, but monetary donations. You can pay right online now if you feel the need to. No donation is ever too small. And I want to thank our donors. Are the most important people, because without you, we're a nonprofit, we would not be around. So whether you give us furniture, whether you go to our website, www.faithfarm.org, whether you mail us a check, whether you stick some cash in an envelope and give it to one of our services, our pastor, or one of our staff members, thank you so much for everything you do for Faith Farm. We just had a sale, our first of the year sale we have every year around Valentine's Day. It's Have a Heart sale, and it was just phenomenal. I'm going to make the announcements in a second, because we do have another very special occasion coming up, March 3rd, homecoming. But I have to give shout outs to, and if I said every person, Anita would be kicking me out of here, because everybody pulled together, whether it is from the top down, our two directors, Troy Hardy and Pastor Rick Aspen at Boynton Beach, Okeechobee, and we don't have a director currently in Lauderdale, but our pastor Douglas Lidwell is kind of guiding that boat while we're looking, and our store managers, the people at the cashier. Thank you all so much. This sale was just unbelievable. The students are giving so much back to this program that has literally given their lives back to them. I spent a good couple of hours there taking pictures. Please check them out on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Faith Farm Ministries. And I have a Galaxy 3 camera my daughter gave me back 5 years ago. So some of them have some kind of lines in them, but that's really not important. It's an older phone, and you'll see the students and the staff just working together like a well-oiled machine. They organize. I mean, the students would guide all the people along to parking, to back to the dock to pick up their purchases, and there you would see all of the furniture and merchandise and clothing all ready to just take its place, so that we could continue selling, to put, like I said, this money that we make goes right back into this program. And remember, our students are just so unbelievable. They're not getting paid for that, but they don't want to get paid for that. They feel such a strong need to give back to our drug and alcohol recovery program, that they would do anything for us.
Well, because they are getting paid in a different way. They're getting paid because they get room, they get board, they get,
right.
You know what I mean? They get their food, they get their education, and they don't have to write a check to get it. But that's why they appreciate it. And they don't, maybe when they first arrive, they say, well, what do you want me to do? And then the other guys say,
Yes.
wait a minute, and then they get caught up in it, because I've gone to so many graduations, and I hear a lot of this. One thing I do want to add to you, and you were saying all about the way people can donate. People can donate through their wills and trusts. Very,
Yes.
very important. If you could go there and just see how extraordinary a place that is, for you to add 5,000, 50,000, 500,000 in your will, it would make such a difference. And it's because they are hands-on. If you go there, you see where your money's going. They have a very small administrative costs. It is really one of the few places here in Palm Beach County that you would really know where your money's going.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Anita. That's so important. And we do have people that leave us their bequest money. And it again, excellent point, Anita. You will see exactly where your loved ones, if they decide to donate money to us, which people do, and God bless them. I mean, they're going on to the next life, but thought about Faith Farm giving us a little bit. And you'll see, not only just by how this operation works, and again, Anita bringing up that we cover all of the costs for these people in the program. They do not need one penny to stay there. It's a residential program. All of their food is covered. All of their curriculum is covered for their schooling, their clothing. All of your needs are met there. So really great point, Anita. That's something, again, that any kind of donation, whether it's, while you're living or after you pass on, goes to such a great cause. And it is a work in progress when you come to one of our farms. There's 3 of them. There's one in Fort Lauderdale on Power Line, Boynton Beach on State Road 7, and in Okeechobee off of, I believe, 7th, Northwest 7th Avenue. But again, you go to our website and can get the exact location and check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I have to say that I know that the homecoming's coming up, and I know that I just love coming to that. And one reason is because of the quality of your speakers. They come from all over the country. They're, it's not just someone who's been an experienced Faith Farm. It's because they understand what you all are doing, and there's some very famous, or let's say very wealthy and very prestigious people who come, and they tell the story that they were in the same condition.
Isn't that amazing? That is an announcement to make that homecoming is coming up Sunday, March 1st. And what has started out is basically just a picnic to celebrate our alums, people that are still in the program, people that have graduated the program, or people that were just in the program, period. And their families are welcome. And yes, the testimonies are the strongest point of each homecoming because they're so powerful, and it really gives not only a spiritual sense of where one can go. And some of these people were literally, it's sad and happy at the same time. It's mostly happy now, but some of them have literally just crawled out from underneath the bridge and have done so much with their lives. One of our speakers one year started his own furniture company. Others, one of our speakers drives all the way down from Georgia to get men into our Fort Lauderdale facility where he graduated from. It's A to Z, how our program has turned around lives and continues to. And again, we have to recognize our donors every possible chance we have, because we couldn't do this without you. And again, if you are in Boynton Beach on March 1st, it will be an experience you'll never forget if you see our homecoming.
So we are inviting the public? I didn't know that.
Well,
the public can come to the homecoming?
It's not a public event, but if you're a friend or family member of someone that was in the program, you can come, or you can visit our Facebook page, and we have plenty of pictures and all the videos that the public can enjoy that way. So, we don't want to have thousands of people there.
Right.
But thank you for pointing that out, Anita.
That reminds me of one day, it was Thanksgiving or something, and I had known some people didn't have a place to go, and I announced on the radio, well, if you don't have a place to go to Thanksgiving, you can come to my house. Well, they came. I had probably about 25 people, family, couples who came, and they came for 5 or maybe 10 years after that. Every time. Then they start dying off. They didn't, but you have to be careful what you announce on the radio.
Yes. Thank you for pointing that out, Anita. That's a good point. It is for alumni and their families and friends. So yes, we have to keep it to, and we still have 1,000 people.
Oh yeah, I know you have huge amounts of
show
people,
up,
right?
But we can also share this with the public. Again, we have videos, we have shout outs, we have lots and lots of pictures. Please go to our website and our Facebook page and our Twitter feed also to just check out just a totally amazing day. And if you are a Faith Farm donor, especially, because you will just be so satisfied and amazed at what your dollars do for us.
Okay, so now let's move back to what you were talking about. Let's not do the homecoming. I want to go into graduations because that you have often, don't you?
We're having one this Sunday.
Oh, see, no, you do.
Sunday is our Boynton Beach. It's the 10th. And then next Sunday, which would be the 17th, I believe, my addition, is our Fort Lauderdale campus. And then the next one would be the 21st.
24th is
4th is Okeechobee. So they always run staggering one week after each other.
And tell us, why don't you tell everybody, I know because I've gone to so many of them, what happens at graduation?
It's just such an amazing experience. It's a celebration of our students who have successfully completed the program. So that means they've been with Faith Farm in the drug and alcohol program for 10 months. And it is just, each one is just mind-blowing in its own way, but to hear not only the students that their lives are completely transformed and so grateful, and all we do is just give them back who they were before they started taking drugs and alcohol.
Very nicely put. I never heard that before.
Yes, and that's
beautiful.
There's a beautiful person taking drugs and alcohol the whole time. They're just covered over like a mask or a shroud, but that person's still alive in there. And Faith Farm, through our teachings, gives them the tools not only to get that person back, that wonderful person that was there before, but we also give them the tools to face this world and all the problems that you will have to confront, and be able to do it without drugs and alcohol and feel good about yourself doing it that way. And we have to mention also the family members that do show up for their brother, sister, daughter, father, niece, nephew. And you could just see the joy and elation in this person's face after years and years of battling that predator addiction and all the rehabs that they've gone through, all the money that they've gone through. And here they're looking at that beautiful person they used to know. It's awesome.
And the other thing that I see is the fellowship between everybody.
Yes. I mean, that's an important part of our program, is the fellowship, loving each other, respecting each other. I mean, some people just have never had the social skills to do that, because some people have never heard "I love you" before their entire lives until they got into the program. I know, it's amazing if you think
that.
It happens more than we want to acknowledge, and that's probably the reason why some of them chose to just withdraw themselves with alcohol and drugs, because that was probably the first time that they felt a connection with anything. A lot of people have been abused physically and sexually. And
they can share this without fear, can't they?
Yes, because our pastors do have counseling for them there, and everything is confidential, and things like that are very private. But there are breakthroughs. Everybody has their breakthrough at a certain point, but that's where the healing comes in. When you talk about this, you're able to let it go, and it's just so amazing that people don't have to be ashamed, and they aren't. They truly are transformed back to the person that they were before the abuse started. And most people that are abused in some way or had a terrible childhood, just statistically, if you see the studies, that's where a lot of addictions are. Now, there's other factors, of course. Some people had no problems in their childhood. Some people have heredity factors. Some people have all of the above, so they're at high risk. But Faith Farm just puts it together. And our founder, Pappy, Mr. Garland Eastham,
Amazing.
Started the program back in the early 50s. It's been around 68 years. And he was taking in alcoholic men off the street, feeding them, letting them shower, giving them a place to sleep it off. But he was seeing that the same men were coming back over and over. So with his genius and brilliance, decided we've just got to do more than just let them sober up here. And that's how Faith Farm transformed into, that was the very humble beginnings of what we are today.
Does his daughter still attend?
Well, no, actually, Dolores passed away a couple years ago. No, it's fine. I mean, it was very quiet. It was a private a funeral, but I believe she lived on the Fort Lauderdale campus up until her death. So she was Faith Farm her entire life.
Right.
And just an interesting note too to bring up, that our CEO, who is just the most loving, wonderful man, I have to just give a shout out to Pastor Mike Brown. I love that man so much. He has really taken over Faith Farm, and he's doing a great job with it, because it's a lot to undertake.
Big job.
But the beautiful part about him is that he's been involved since he was a little boy with Pappy. I'm just thinking,
is that right?
I want to repost a picture of him getting baptized by Pastor.
Are you kidding?
Yes, and he's a little boy, and he was getting baptized. It's a beautiful picture. So he has a very long history with Faith Farm, but just a wonderful person, and he's bringing us in a good direction, and he's a great leader. So there's just so many great things about Faith Farm. It's hard to even condense it into a half an hour.
And some things that I know have happened, because I've heard about them, that people hear about this. They could be in California, they could be in the state of Washington, they could be anywhere. And when they have hit rock bottom, someone says, well, you have to go to Faith Farm down there in Boynton Beach or down in South Florida. And you take them, and you do a great job with them.
Let's just say that we have taken students from every state, and Hawaii and Alaska too.
I didn't know that.
So about 2 years ago, I believe we received a lady from, I think it was Wisconsin, and that was like the last state that we hadn't had a student from. I know, it's just incredible. And plus, if they can get on a bus or train or plane, we have transportation to come pick them up here in South Florida. So, I mean, you can't beat that.
No. Is there anything like this anywhere in the country that you know of?
No.
No, this is really,
I don't.
It is unique, isn't it?
It's, a lot of people have tried to copy the model, because we're so successful, and we were really the first thrift store that had this whole other operation going on behind the scenes. So when people find out that, oh my goodness, you're a drug and alcohol recovery center, and people come a lot of times when we attend the BOOMER event at the casino.
You were there. Was that good for you?
Oh my
God,
God,
a lot of nice people
that is just such an amazing day, because
you enjoyed it, didn't it?
I always do. Thank you, Anita.
You like the ladies and then the men at the end.
Yes.
You did a great job with that.
You are something with entertainment.
Yeah,
Your entertainment is always top notch. But you know what? There hasn't been a time. We go there twice a year, and it's such a blessing. It's such a good time. And such a good connecting place. And now to see people that recognize you, it's like a family. And there's not at least one or two people who will come up to me and said, you saved my son's life 20 years ago.
People. Oh, I'm so excited to hear that.
All the time at the BOOMER. And we get their names and addresses, and I know that our former CEO or executive director, Dean Webb, used to call them. and we keep in touch with these people all the time.
So they could come to homecoming if they had a son
yes,
or
they
someone.
could. Well, they would be an alumnus,
Yes,
and they
right.
do. But when you see that parent looking at you dead in the eyes and saying, "You saved my daughter's life. You saved my father's life," I tell you, there's very few things as satisfying as that, and it happens every day.
Yeah, I know it does. And so let's just go back to something when people
Okay.
are at. I want to talk about now the thrift shop and what happens there, because this is not a typical thrift shop, and we said this before. There are a lot of thrift shops out there, and they may not be not for profit. We don't even know, but there are some are Alzheimer's, they have them, but this is definitely not for profit. So if you have stuff in your, you don't have a basement, but if you have it in your closets or you have places, and you don't want it, it has great value to somebody else. If you have to go to the thrift shop to just walk around and see, they've got new stuff, they've got older stuff, they've got stuff that it'll be very hard, even if you're not looking for anything, to go there and not buy something.
We have everything.
Jewelry, beds.
Vinyl records,
Oh,
all kinds
really?
of collectibles, and stuff that is way beyond the value of what we're asking for it. I told Anita, I think the last time, about they're called crackle lamps. And I found one of them, never knowing that there was a pair of them. I paid $5 for it, but I gave another $15, putting a donation to Faith Farm. I paid $20 for a lamp that's worth $400.
You happen to know.
And all the time, I mean, there's been some extremes where someone bought a painting for $20. I believe it was about 20 years ago,
Right.
and it
It's
turned out to be
big,
$35,000.
Right, it was something.
So that's nice when that happens, and it does happen. But you know what? You're still getting such a value because, first of all, our furniture is brand new. You can finance it if you don't have the money at the time to pay for it, outright. Our clothes, a lot of them are still tagged, the shoes. But don't let that discourage you from donating items that, maybe aren't particularly brand new, because we recycle everything. And unlike our competitors, we never tell you no when you donate. We're not going to take that. We take everything in one way or another. Either we'll take it apart, we'll sew it back together, or do what we have to do. But
Right.
don't ever hesitate to give us anything.
Right,
We're grateful
right.
for
I
every
know you are.
donation.
Well, I didn't do this yet, but I should have done. I'm going to do it again. I know that you've done it, but let's talk about how you can call them if you need to donate something. It's faithfarm.org. It's very simple. Just go to their website. They have a great website, and they're saying we're restoring lives and families, and that's what they do. And they always need money because there are a lot of people out there who do want to come, and they're filled. So eventually they may build some more, but you just need to support these people. I have been the biggest supporter of them for many years because I know what they do, and I'm going to the homecoming. I know I can go to that, right?
Yes.
I'm coming to the homecoming. Okay, because that's really special. And then,
Of course
then
you
you
can.
will be having a fundraiser, and we'll talk about that later too as the year progresses.
Yes, we don't have the
people could-
particulars
No, and
yet.
then people could come to that.
Oh yes,
Because there's lots of good items that they can buy at that fundraiser.
right. We don't have any of the planning ready yet for that,
It's okay, but you will.
yeah, we will for sure. But like I said, you can go to our website and donate
Yes.
anytime you feel the need, because you are saving a life every time you do that. So
We have a lot of people on watching you, so yes. So let's see, Ingrid and John Album and Seth Levy.
thank you for
Okay.
tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, and just
too.
do something for Faith Farm. That'll
Yes.
make me very happy, and put it in your will or do something. And if you know someone that needs the help now with all these terrible drug things that's happening to people, we want. It could be whether it's alcohol or it's drugs, or there are families that just from the pain medication that have gotten there.
That is just such a monster that is not going to go away
Are you
anytime
finding people
soon.
coming there for that too?
Everything, because now, especially with funding going to be pulled from Medicaid, which was federal funding dollars will no longer probably go to fund that, which is where most of the rehabs, the detoxes get their money to help people. So you really can't claim to be fighting the opioid crisis, and then the federal dollars are being slashed out of that budget. So
you're going to have a lot more people knocking on your door. I can see that happening.
You can't even wrap your mind around the number of applications we get every single day. And just real briefly, the numbers for 2018 aren't in, but in 2017, just from opioid overdose deaths, we lost 72,000 people. It's been verified. The numbers are out there. You just can pull it up, but 72,000 deaths. It will pop up all over the place. 2018 is going to supersede that. So it's just a horrible place we're in, and the types of attitudes, and you need dollars to fight this, and that's why. Thank you so much, donors.
People don't know that till it affects
amazing.
Their kids, and I have friends who's affected their kids.
Now it's affecting everybody,
and it actually came into families that have, they're very good families, but their kids got done because maybe they had an injury or something. But anyway, we'll cover that next time.
Yeah, we will.
But thank you, Carol Mahoney.
Thank
you are my little star there. I'm so happy that you took the time.
Oh, Anita, you're awesome too.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
you are. March 1st. Bye.